Right, so we're at probably one of the most famous day ticket venues in the whole of the UK, I think. Well, I'd certainly put it up there. I'm here with Mark Mann again. Been doing quite a bit of filming with Mark. And we're down at Yateley because your friend Jay.
That's right.
It's his stag weekend.
That's correct. It's his stag weekend, and we thought rather than go out on the town and get drunk and that, we'd try and invest our efforts and try and get some carp out. And yeah, spring's finally here, which is a good thing, isn't it? You know, I think last time we saw each other was well, a little bit different altogether, wasn't it? You know, yeah, about a couple of foot of it.
So the lake stands at probably about 12 acres. That's like the rough guidelines that people have said.
So yeah,
probably something like that. So there's 16 of us fishing, which if you do your sums, it's quite a lot of water each per at least 2 acres if you look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just quite unique. The fact that you can actually book this lake out for a weekend for £1,200 and you have exclusive fishing for you and your friends. I mean, with 16 of us, that's under £80 a person to fish one of the premier day ticket waters in the whole of the country, if not one of the best. So I think, you know, value for money, if you can afford it, it's worth giving it a go, you know.
So we're just going to start off here, the weekend. It's nice and sunny. It's about 10 in the morning. And we're going to hopefully catch a few fish.
That's it. I mean, we're drawn for the swims, haven't we? I'm lucky to pull out the pipe swim, which has been very popular lately. When was it the weekend? It just done 39 and a 41, I believe. One of them's Niger's fish and the other one I think was sea scale. So I'm feeling quite confident about the whole situation, and we'll see what happens.
So we'll leave it there for now, and we'll come back hopefully with a fish or two to report of.
Okay. I'm going to have a kipper, mate. Well, it's the evening of the Friday night. My swim actually became the party swim in the end, which means I had about 12 people sitting around punishing me pretty much for a good part of 4 hours. And to be fair, I just got to the point where I just thought I'm going to bring my rods in because there's just too much going on. A few beers were flowing about, a few things going on, and then probably about 5:30 I saw a couple of carp top probably about 70 yards out. So my most logical thought was to get the chods out. You've got a lot of gravel in Sandy, but what you can do is if you cast about, you will find the silt, and I think that's the best place to actually have a bait. So after a few casts, I actually found a nice silt patch, about 70 yards range. Got a chod rig out there, and lo and behold, I only had the one rod out, the other two were in. We were all having a bit of a chat, putting the rod to rights, and then the rod shot off. So hitting to the rod, absolutely amazing battle. It took me at least 15 to 20 minutes to get it in, and as she went into net, I knew it was one of the special ones. Basically at 34 pounds and 3 ounces on my first carp out of Sandhurst, I'm very, very, very happy. So what you'll see in a minute is the actual drama that went on, the craziness, and you'll see the amount of people that I had around my swim. But in truth, it actually made the moment even more special. And I had Nigel Sharp that did the photos, so I know I got some good snaps as well, and obviously you'll probably see them later on as well. So yeah, here's the footage, see what you think, and welcome to the madness that is Mark Mann's world. Okay, we're here at Sandy, at Jay's stag do. Been punished really, to be fair. Spent the last couple of hours trying to sort everything out. Got everything exactly how I wanted, and found out like it wasn't quite how I expected. So what we did was we all come around my bivvy and had a bit of a social. Decided to put a chod rig out, and within about 20-30 minutes, next thing you know, this is sitting in my net after a good battle and a lot of punishment and a lot of abuse from my mates. So without further ado, here's one Sandhurst comment. Ooh. She's going to behave herself. There we go. And I'm very happy. Hey Dino, you're close.
34.5.
What we're going to call it?
34.4.
34.3. So it's not tight enough, is it? This way. That's it. Good. I'm smiling. They are the only So I think we're all aware about the properties of a chod rig and how to tie one, and if not, there's plenty of material there to learn about how to use one and what to do. But still, a lot of people don't use it or don't understand the situation why they should use it. There's two reasons why I use the chod rig over the last couple of hours or overnight. It's purely because of the anti-tangle properties and the fact that I was actually fishing in chod. If you cast this rig out, there's not pretty much any sort of lake bed or anything that you can't fish this over, just purely of the properties. And you'll see that when you see the cliff in the water. What I have been playing with is a diffusion camo leaders with it, which is the 1.5 meter version. And if you've seen the DVD, you know, seen our promo products and stuff, it is pretty much the best diffusion or the camo you can get on the lake bed. So what I tend to do is I do like to use the helicopter bead, and this just stops the rig itself going too close to the lead. I don't want tangles, I don't want it hooking up on this. I use quite sharp hooks as well, ultra sharp hooks. And the last thing I want to do is the hook getting dug into the actual lead itself. Also, when you're playing the carp, what it will do is actually keep the hook and everything away from the body of the carp, and it sort of works a little bit better. If the lead's right near its mouth, there's every chance that they could drop the hook. What I'll do is, a little bit further up, is I'll just have a little bead. It's one of the 5mm beads that we actually do, which is actually here. And what I use is on the, when you get the lead tip system, what you also got is a little plug that you actually put into the actual lead tip to stop the swivel coming out. It actually doubles up really well to just slot in here, and it just holds the bead nice and firm, but it can still move if it needs to. That'll slip off nicely. You've got to think about fish safety with these rigs. If you crack off, the last thing you want is something fixed here where the carp can't lose this trace, okay? So the bottom line is always make sure that bead can move and slide off your leader. And that pretty much is what you call your classic chod rig. I like to use it with a big loop, more movement. I think that aids the hooking of the carp, and just a little bit of Klingon putty as well. Doesn't need much. I only put on as much as I want. And what I tend to do is I overload it to begin with, and then pull a little bit off till I've got it critically balanced to actually how I want. It's a lot easier than just putting a little bit on and then adding more, because when it's wet, it's not going to stick as well. But yeah, that's pretty much accounted for the 34 common, and a nice fully scaled mirror this morning of about 22 pounds. It's worked really well. I recommend you give it a go, but before you actually sling one out, think about what you're fishing over and then adjust your rigs accordingly. Don't just look at one rig and think it's the wonder rig. You need to really think about what you're fishing over to make it work for you. And this, so far, has accounted for 2 carp for me on Sandhurst. Happy days.